Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Mystic Method channel, where we do card readings, divination for everyday people using everyday available tools. So card reading done through the Mystic Method are done using regular old playing cards that pretty much everybody has access to. You can buy them at any convenience store, grocery store, usually only a couple of dollars. And sometimes you can find them even for $1, depending on where you look. So that's the Mystic Method, ancient method really based off of numerology, Christianity, alchemy, a couple of different things that are built into the system. But it really is available for everybody. So that's why we do what we do here at the Mystic Method channel, is to help everybody find peace, guidance, abundance in your life by learning to interpret the messages that are out there for you to hear from angels, from God, from the universe, divine sources. Okay, all right, I think we've messed around with these cards enough. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, east, west, north, south, above, below, and within. All right, we'll set those aside. Okay. All right, here we go. So as always, we begin in the east. East is also representative of knowledge. This is clubs, the element of air or wind. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, hey, right off the bat. Okay. Wow, there's lots. What a way to start the reading. So we have a club in the club's place. So clubs belong here in the east, representing intellect and wisdom, clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spades. And so if a card pops up in the place where it belongs, so in its direction, its location, then we know that there's some extra energy, an extra strong message, kind of a headline, right, to this message that's coming your way. And there's going to be some extra energy for you in your life for this next period of time. We do these weekly, so it's probably a week that this can look at, but for you, depending on if this resonates with you, how long that time frame might be, you just have to feel that out. So, and not only did we get a card, a match, right, a suit match here, we also got a queen. So we know that face cards are incredibly powerful cards. Queens especially are incredibly spiritual cards. Lots of energy here for mastery. Queens are mastery cards. So in this case, being the Queen of Clubs, it's known as the Mary card, representative of Mary, the mother of Christ. This is the mastery of wisdom and introspection, right? In the Bible, we know that Mary is said to be a very ponderous person. She pondered all these things in her heart, all these great miraculous things that were told to her and brought to her. She just took them to heart and really pondered them and learned from them. So the Mary card represents that level of mastery that is represented in that part of the story. So for you, this could mean, so obviously in East is also beginnings, right? This could mean that this is a beginning of a time frame of mastery. Obviously, it's a beginning for you, even if it showed up somewhere else. But the fact that it is here might mean that there's a strong beginning here. So for you, there's going to be some extra strong energy towards mastery of wisdom and introspection. Lots of power coming your way to be able to ponder, to think, to feel, to look introspectively, right? And to find wisdom in yourself and in the surrounding areas, the people that are around you, the things that are going on in your life. Lots of power and energy coming to you for wisdom and introspection. So I think starting this right off here, the message that I'm feeling here is that there's extra power for you to really open up some new areas of wisdom in your life. That's pretty cool. This is a peaceful card. This is a card that says, sit down, take some time to think, ponder the things that are already going on in your mind and your heart. Look within to find that wisdom, and you will find it. You'll have extra energy there. So pretty cool way to start. So, okay, let's take a look at the West card, being hearts, love, relationships, the element of water. Sometimes it also represents sunsets, meaning things that might be coming to an end. Okay, a 7. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful thing to actually, well, they're all beautiful, right? But this is one of those things that makes me smile when you see like a 7 in the sunset stage, because 7s are disruptor cards, right? Remember 5s, 7s, even 3s, 9s, the odds can be disruptors in a way. Good things, right? Disruption always means growth. It always means that there's an opportunity for us to grow, oftentimes through becoming uncomfortable. So when we see a 7 in the sunset card, it usually means that there's some kind of trial or hard time that is coming to an end. So I like seeing that. Even though the trial was meant for growth, 100% of this is meant for growth. All of this message is meant for your growth. This is God saying, here's the things that are coming into your life that are meant for your growth. Okay, so 7 is the 7 of diamonds. So this is a value system. It's being tested in those value systems. It's opportunities to learn to be grateful, to find freedom through fearlessness, right? Really believe and hold on to abundance. So really being tested on what your values are. It feels like that is coming to an end. That time of testing is coming to an end. And that's nice. That's very good. Usually that means that you're feeling more solid in your values, that you've learned the things that are valuable to you. What do you really put value in? What do you really hold on to? What are your personal guiding values? Is it trust? Is it humility? Is it passion? What is it? The values that you hold on to? Integrity, things like that. So usually that means you've had a testing time with that, and it's coming to an end because you've probably found some stability in there through being grateful, believing in abundance. So hopefully you've found that abundance, which is a great time for you to spend some time really thinking inwardly and pondering what you've learned here. So after a trial comes a great time to think and ponder. That works really well together. Okay, let's take a look up here at the north. This is Mother Earth. This is feminine energy, receptive energy, nurturing energy. This is also the direction of diamonds. So again, the values direction up here, the element of earth, Mother Earth. So let's see. Okay, 2 of spades. So spades being spirituality and lifestyle, and 2 being relationships. So 2's relationships, remember, we don't add extra readings onto things. Relationships are neither good nor bad. They just are. So a lot of times when people say, oh, there's a new relationship coming in my life. Oh, that's great. You don't want to add on the, oh, that's great, because it just is a thing. Now, it is always great because, again, we're always meant to learn, but some relationships are easy. Some are meant to bring us fun, are meant to bring us love. Some are meant to bring us growth through challenges. So in this case, this is referencing a new spiritual relationship. So a new relationship where you may be able to share a certain part of your lifestyle with somebody who thinks and feels the same way as you spiritually. So be sure to give and receive. That's always a good reminder when it comes to relationships. Now, the fact that it's up here in North in Mother Earth place probably says to me that there's maybe a little bit more emphasis on the receiving part. You may be a person who spends a lot more effort in giving in your relationships. Maybe now it's the time for you to receive. It's the time for you to open up and allow yourself to receive, which is much harder for many people than they think it is, right? We live in a society that's very pro-giving, which is good. That's a beautiful thing, a very service-oriented society, especially if you live in a very religious society that's very pro-giving. And that's a beautiful thing. We also need to receive, right? We also need to receive. Looking at this from the Christian doctrine, right? The second great commandment, like unto the first, is to love thy neighbor as thyself. Loving as thyself, which means you have to love yourself. You have to allow yourself to be loved so that you can turn around and love your neighbor. So new spiritual relationship, new lifestyle sharing relationship coming your way. I would focus a little bit on the receiving side. It's okay to enjoy that new relationship and to receive from that new friendship. So again, remember, relationships don't always necessarily mean new people. It can be an existing person in your life that you're just entering into a new relationship with. So maybe it was a coworker, but now you've gotten to know each other a little bit better, and so now you become friends outside of work. You share spirituality, interests, levels of understanding, different lifestyle things like that. So it could be a new person, but it may also be an existing person, just a new relationship. with that person. Ultimately, this can always mean a new relationship with yourself as well. I'm not feeling that right here. For me, this being up here in the receiving place, I feel like it probably does involve somebody else. But, that could be different for you. You need to feel out your own heart and feel like what that means for you. This can be a new relationship with yourself. I feel like this is another person, though. Okay, let's take a look down here at Father Fire in the south. South is fire, south is spades. South is spirituality, which is spades. Father Fire represents leadership, represents giving energy. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, all right, wow. 2 face cards. Very interesting. And again, spades in the spades place. So we have another match. We have 2 matches. Lots of energy and power in this. 2 matches. So big highlights, headlines, power, energy for you to pay attention to. So jacks are always initiation cards. They are elevating into a new level of existence, an initiation into a new level of existence for you. These 2 go very closely together to me because the Jack of Spades means initiation into a new spirituality, right? Spades representing spirituality. This is the Peter card. This is a new life. Peter represents in the New Testament a grand conversion, the conversion story from an old way of life to a new way of life. Peter to Simon, Simon to Peter, rather. It goes the other way around. But becoming that rock that the name Peter really means. There's a grand conversion story there that if you know the story, how many times he denies the Christ, and then after that goes back to his old life, but eventually has this really grand conversion moment. That's what this is representing. This is initiation into a higher spirituality. So Peter becomes that rock that he was meant to be. Really interesting here. So these 2 together, very interesting. Lots of spiritual power because queens by nature are spiritual. That the queen card, even though it's not a queen of spades, has spiritual energy to it. These are the most spiritual cards in the deck, with the queen of spades, of course, being the most spiritual card. So the queen of clubs, even though it's not a spade, is a spiritual card. So you've got lots of spiritual energy with these cards here. So initiation into a higher spirituality. You know that there's going to be a new relationship coming into your life, a new spiritual lifestyle type sharing energy. Make sure you're giving and receiving, right? While you are initiating into a new higher level of spirituality, some new spiritual understanding, some new level of light that you're gaining into your life. Maybe you've been studying spirituality, you've been thinking about it, you've been pondering it, you've been learning these kinds of things, whatever kind of spiritual tools you're using, you are now reaching a new higher level of spirituality. Your light is increasing, and that light's going to start shining brighter for others to see. Good opportunity to really think about that. Some mastery of wisdom and introspection for the things that you're learning and growing into. You're done with this time of trials for a little bit. These value systems that you may have been tried on. So really great opportunity now for you to enjoy this new level of spirituality that you're moving into and really be self-aware. Really notice it. Pay attention to it in yourself. Wisdom, introspection. So, okay, really beautiful. Lots of power, spiritual power in this reading so far. Okay, so let's take a look at above, below, and within. The celestial directions. So above, gift from God, just a nice clean kind of given gift. Below, so the sun card, right? This is light. Below being the star card. This is the added clarity, the caveat, the in addition to that sometimes we need to temper this blessing with this one. Sometimes it's just more information. So let's take a look. Okay, above. Okay, the guide. My goodness, look at this. Another spiritual card. And not just another spiritual card, but a spiritual success and abundance card. 10s and 8s are success and abundance cards. So this card is called the guide. This is an opportunity for you to help other people, which makes total sense, going right in line with the Jack of Spades, which is an initiation into higher spirituality. This leads towards enlightenment, right? Enlightenment is what we're talking about here, is gaining light so that other people can see the path now. Your light is shining brightly so that other people can see the path. You are being the light, right? Not shining the light, holding the light for somebody else. You are being the light for somebody else. That's pretty cool. That's what the guide is. That's what the 10 of Spades is. It's living your life so that others may see. Lots of success with spiritual endeavors. There's a real clear theme that is coming to me so far with this reading. Lots of spiritual energy, spiritual enlightenment. You become the guide because of this initiation into a new, higher level of spirituality, new spiritual relationships. Again, remember, this is the guide. The guide can be a giving card, but it's not necessarily like how do we say this? Like a proactive giving card necessarily. This can be a default guide. So your light is shining. You're initiating into a higher level of spirituality, which means you are gaining more light. You're becoming enlightened. That light is naturally going to shine. So people are going to be able to see the path just because you are who you are. Sometimes we need to put in proactive effort. Sometimes we need to, elevate and learn and grow. Like a 7 would tell us that, okay, there's some roadblocks coming up that are meant for you to grow. Some proactive growth opportunity. This is almost a default activity. This is you being who you are. And because you are who you are, this new version of yourself, other people are going to be able to see the path because of that. That's beautiful. Really think about that. Really think about that, ponder that, what that means to you, and how you can see that actually happening in your life. Okay, so let's take a look at the Star card, the Below card, and see if there's any additional wisdom or guidance that comes along with that. The Rider's card, that's interesting. So the 3 of Clubs is mental creativity, right? An opportunity for you to express yourself to everyone that you meet. Now, 3s, again, can be potential disruptors because it's kind of an outgrowth of the 2, right? There's another thing that gets thrown in there. And sometimes that can mean an indecision in a relationship or in an idea. Now, in this case, since this is the mental card, it can be worry, it can be indecision, it can be just mental stress. So you have this creativity, but there's also the potential for worry. I think that makes sense. This feels pretty big, right? You may be hearing this going, wow, that's awesome. I am so excited. I'm in this new level of spirituality. Or at least I'm headed towards this new level of spirituality, an opportunity to just be who I am and help other people along the path. Or you may be feeling, oh boy, like that feels like a lot. That feels like a lot. Especially if you're maybe a little bit more introverted. Shining your light can be scary for introverts. I personally am a very introverted person, so I understand that. I've really had to work hard to overcome that, and I still feel it. But so I understand that. I understand the worry. So this card makes sense to me that there's a potential for worry with this. Just be aware of that. This is an awareness card. This is God saying, hey, you are the guide, and I'm aware of the fact that you may be a little bit worried about that. That's okay. The Rider's card, I think, means that there's often a potential for the written word to be part of this guide for you, if that makes sense to you, right? If you're a writer, if you're somebody who enjoys writing, that makes sense to you. If this is a stressful thing to you, if you go, I don't want to write a book, that's not for me, then I don't think that's what this is saying to you. This is saying you have the opportunity to be really mentally creative. And the Rider's card often means through intellectual or knowledge and wisdom-based opportunities. So often that means writing. So the 3 of Clubs means the Rider's card. It often means writing. Books, articles, emails, letters, whatever it may be, means writing. But it doesn't always have to be. There can be other intellectual and wisdom knowledge-based activities for you that you could focus on that may come clear to you in ways that you can help spread this new level of spirituality. So if something does come to mind, it's a written version, you feel prompted to kind of maybe send someone a letter, send someone an email, reach out to with a text even, right? Grab your phone and text them. That's the Rider's card. So, or receive those things in the receiving area. So, okay, anyway, just I do like the caveat here that is to express yourself to all you meet. So really be who you are. Let yourself be the guide by just being who you are. Express yourself truly and vulnerably and authentically to everybody that you meet. Okay, all right, last card within the moon card. This is what represents you, your soul. What is your soul trying to tell you? We have this big message from God, and what is your soul now trying to tell you? If I can get that turned over. Another queen. My goodness. Okay. Queens, spirituality, feminine energy, receiving, nurturing. Here is the ultimate nurturing card, the ultimate loving card. This is the mother. Some people call this the goddess card. This, the Queen of Hearts, being the mastery of hearts, the mastery of love, the mastery of sensuality, the ultimate feminine energy card. That's what the Queen of Hearts really represents. Now, again, I know I said this in other videos. Don't get too hung up on masculine versus feminine. This isn't about male and female. This is about masculine and feminine energy. We all have masculine energy. We all have feminine energy, excuse me. This works for everybody. So your soul is speaking to you here for this mastery of love and sensuality, for this feminine energy. I think that goes really well with this, what we said earlier. Be sure to make sure that you are receiving. Like I said, you may be somebody who really likes to give or feels pressured to give, and it may be a struggle for you to receive. Make sure you're doing so, right? Your soul is crying out to you. It says, hey, it's okay. Accept your feminine energy. Accept that loving, nurturing, receiving side of you. That doesn't mean that you don't also give and lead in other places. That's fine. But accept that. Accept that side of you. Accept the fact that you can reach mastery of love and sensuality. You can be a loving person. You can be a sensual person. You can be a passionate person. Right? You can be a person full of feminine energy. That's a beautiful thing. So, okay. All right. Boy, looking at all that, kind of summing that up, lots of spirituality stuff in this reading, initiations into new levels of spirituality, 2 mastery cards, wisdom, introspection, thinking, love and sensuality, feeling, right? The being this guide, the spiritual guide here, just by the new spirituality that you're gaining and you're achieving. New people, new relationships coming into your life, just the reminder that it's okay if you're worried. God knows that. Try to work on that and just be you. Be who you are. Express yourself in all ways, every communication you have with people. And if it's a written communication, especially texts, emails, books, letters, articles, blogs, whatever it is, a written communication is a great way to spread love. Otherwise, just be who you are in all endeavors. And a little bit of peace that maybe that trial you've been going through lately might be coming to an end, especially if it was a trial kind of dealing with your own personal values and what you really hold to and hold dear. So, feels like God's got a pretty special message for you, and so does your own soul. It's just, hey, it's okay to love and be loved. It's okay to be loved. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. I love you all. Don't forget to check out the new course on Udemy. The link is in the description, where you can learn to do the Mystic Method for yourself and for others. It's pretty cheap, $20, and you're on your way. Thank you.